So we're all in a relationship that we definitely don't want to be in. None of us. And yet we struggle with it 24/7, the self-centered thought, at least I do. And so I thought I'd share an example. I think at a certain point it's just downright depressing and despairing. And I thought at some point you have to find, a way to laugh at this. I have to find a way to laugh at this. And so I've got a great example that's fairly recent. And I'm going to start with a quote from Volume 5 in Praise of Great Compassion by His Holiness and Venerable Tibetan Children. So in this section on the self-centered thought, they say, all people recognize coarse self-centeredness as harmful. Of course we do. It's so obvious. Any idiot would know this. It's just so blatant. Then they say, it believes, the self-centeredness, believes that our happiness and suffering are more important than that of others. Now you're talking. So I thought I'd use Bodhibug to be a representative of the self-centered thought. Because, you can see where his gaze is. He can only see his own little nose body. He has no idea that there's others in the room right now. So of course, my happiness is more important than any others. And what we want to happen should happen. Do you get that? What I want to happen should happen instantly. My opinions are always right? They're always right. And my ideas are the best. Now we're talking here. Now His Holiness and Venerable Children have got it right. So if you look at your experience throughout the day, of course self-centeredness is the problem, but then what happens next? All right, so I'll put it down for a minute. We've been working with an acoustician team called Threshold Acoustics since 2020. The idea is, and it's going to happen, is that we have beautiful, crystal clear sound in every room in the Buddha Hall, given. And also that the storage rooms would all, initially the plan was that they would all be covered with wooden doors, so that would enhance the way the sound will work in each room. Here you can see that we have this love affair with curtains, a total love affair. And they are beautiful, but for acoustic purposes, they're not the greatest. Now, do you want to say something about this? Yeah. Okay. So the curtains look beautiful here. There's no doubt about it. But acoustically, they're not the greatest. And so initially, it was all agreed. We all agreed on this, the architect, Venerable Children, the whole team, Threshold Acoustics, that all storage doors would have doors. All storage areas would have doors. And Samton was absolutely passionate about these doors being French doors. They open like this. Pardon me, Venerable Children? Better give Venerable a microphone here. What did you say?
They're making that look like French doors.
Well, that's the purpose of my whole talk. They're not. Right? They're not. From 2020, you can't see it on the camera. These are plans from 2020, May. These doors, the French doors, are on the plans because that is the best solution. Then, about 3 weeks ago, we go in to the Buddha Hall, just looking around like we usually do, and I see this box that says, bifold doors. And I ran to Jason, the supervisor. No, they're not French doors. French doors just open like this, and they're beautiful, and they're soft and quiet.
Oh, they take up the whole room when you open them.
That's what you said, but then you changed your mind, and you agreed with me. You agreed with me later on. So,
Into it.
So, I think you better give Venerable a microphone. But don't take up my space. This is my talk.
It was your self-centered mind that interfered with my self-centered.
Yes, exactly. And we know who won. So I see these boxes that say bifold doors, and I went running to Jason. I said, Jason, this is wrong. We want French doors. These need to go back. Are those meant for the main hall upstairs? And he said, yeah. I said, no, it's a mistake. I can show you the plans. It's right here from 2020. And then I went running to my office. We went running. And I found evidence in emails. Listen to this carefully. This is from March 11th, 2021,
Yeah,
at 7:27 p.m.
She spent 15 weeks looking for that email and did nothing
No, it
else.
actually took us only about 10 minutes. Dear Tim, thank you as always for your kind and generous time and thoughts and expertise and great ideas. Tim Wilson is a brilliant architect. We love him. I wrote to Venerable Children, Venerable Tarp, and Venerable Dancho. They all wrote back with a yes to the French doors for the storage rooms. So you can update the plans to indicate this whenever you have the time. We don't want to pressure you. The only place we have a curtain is the storage area at the back of the main hall. Okay, so I sent this email to everybody except for Venerable Children.
Because I
just
was
before the meeting.
pressured into, I didn't agree to that.
So we'll just continue with my version of the story, because this is my self-centered thought.
Okay.
Okay. So I sent that to everyone except for Venerable Children the day before our recent online Buddha Hall meeting. And I said, this is the story. This is what we agreed on. And there was no response to the email. And then when it was my turn to speak at the meeting, I expressed my passion for French doors. And it was met with complete silence. Nobody cared. Nobody cared at all that this is what I'm so concerned about. And then finally, one of the young construction people spoke up and said, well, 4-foot wide doors, they're going to be very heavy. And yeah, okay. So we've got that part now, Venerable Children. So then they went on to say, well, you know what? Then if this is going to be a change, then it will be a change order. Okay. Then at that point, my wisdom mind engaged, and I said, well, actually, we're not going to do a change order. The doors are here. They're bifold doors. We never talked about bifold doors, ever. That's like the last, that's even below curtains. I'm sorry, that is below curtains. Curtains are a step up from bifold doors. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to give this one up. The doors are here, let's keep things moving. And I felt happy that I could do that and just let it go. But I was grumbling the whole time after. You need to talk into the microphone, Venerable Children. So then I'm going to continue from volume 5. This self-centeredness is the self-preoccupation that we see in children. And that as adults, we learn to hide under the pretense of gentility, although it is still present. So that's for sure. I admit it. It's self-centeredness that's childlike behavior. Now here's the funny part. Oh, then of course they go on to tell us what is the solution to this, and of course our teachers talk about this all the time. And one of the main things is that we practice loving kindness and compassion in daily life to combat this self-centeredness. I'm happy that you got your way. I'm very happy that you got your way with the doors. I should say that a lot of the storage areas that were supposed to have doors, I don't care what kind of doors, now have curtains. Yeah, they're going to have very beautiful curtains. Yeah, there's bifold doors in the main hall. So here's the funny part. So we go in, like we usually do, talk to the workers. And I see these doors, they've been stained now, and they're standing right in front of where they will go. And they look beautiful. They really look gorgeous. And so I went up to,
I'm not going to say I told you so.
Well, self-centered thought has moments of reading people's minds, and I know you're thinking that. And that's good for you. So the only people that actually cared about what I thought are our friends, the Finnish carpenters. So I told them my sad story about wanting not bifold doors there, and they said, you know what? these are actually better than the ones in your office. The ones in your office are old and they make a lot of noise and they're just clunky and not great, but these are going to be really good. You're going to be very happy with them. And they cared about what I thought. They were the only ones who did.
We all care that she's suffering so much from her self-centeredness, don't we? It would be so nice if she didn't suffer.
So it's just a great example. You know, if we can let go of self-centeredness, we can actually see that other ideas are just as brilliant, but likely more brilliant and even more of a better solution. And we can then go on and continue. No, we won't do that. Okay, let's have compassion for everyone and their brilliant ideas. It's on the plans. I just want you to know.